Well, hello folks. My name is Mitchell Valentine. I'm super happy to be a part of ETHDenver 2022 this year. So many twos rolling around this year. Speaking of two, we're a project of two. It's me and Dave Anderson. And he's not with me at the moment. He is writing some code, but we've been working together. We actually worked together last year at ETHDenver 2020. We won a little IPFS, Interplanetary DAO, with this cool crew called Textile. So of course we are integrating some tableland into our project this year and using it for some cool stuff. It's a pretty rad development. All right, so what is our project? Let's check it out. We are building 22222.World, 52's world. Significance of that is basically it's my brother's birthday on Tuesday, so he actually works in the event business, and they do cool VIP club subscriptions, and they've had this major pain point in their business where they try to take payment for subscriptions and maintain subscriptions and keep up with the state regulatory requirements for having an after-hours club that uses subscriptions, and there's a ton of back-end trouble that they've been running into, and it's really difficult to solve this problem. So I think it turns out that NFTs may be a really fancy and wonderful solution for the cool sort of workspaces and after-hours clubs that Denver and Colorado supports. So by using NFTs, they can maintain their membership, and I think it's a pretty good opportunity. So here, let's talk about what that's all about. So we're going to use some OpenSea NFTs on Polygon. We are distributing our websites on IPFS, so you've got this nice proofs of your front-end client that's coming through. You use an unknown domain, IPFS. You got a CID of the website, so this is all trusted. We're going to jack into the MYCOLORADO ID API so that we can verify people's IDs really in a nifty way. We're definitely going to use some tableland to track and record what happens with the NFTs in a decentralized way, and then all these are built on Polygon, like we said, just so we can get some nice cheap NFTs that actually don't cost a fortune to mint, and actually are reasonably cost for small scale, under $100 sort of tickets. So this empowers small organizations to create sort of a decentralized membership and respects the regulatory demands of where they live, and also the privacy concerns of their folk. All right, so the main issue is that the traditional ticket management systems, such as Ticketmaster, like AXS, they are extremely centralized, and they definitely share your data. It's difficult to implement on them. It's hard to manage. They're wonky. They're flaky. You got to give a huge cut to the either development teams that build them for you or these centralized systems. They're expensive to maintain. They're hard to deal with. You got to use these single sign-on systems using Google or Facebook, or some of the lower security models like WordPress, where there's a lot of trouble, a lot of risk to PII. Plus, there's just the fact that these companies are sharing all your data, and so they're, even though some of these systems may end up seeming free sometimes to solve some of these problems, they end up just, costing you in the harvest in the back end. So, seems like there's a better way to do it. So let's try to use some NFTs. Then we could be completely decentralized, have some client-side code served through IPFS, so you know what you got. Everything's happening on your devices. Then your devices are going to talk, using your selected RPCs to a, Web3, provider of your choice, so you can get some validated proofs. And then, that NFT minting and the marketplaces all happen on OpenSea, which we know is an open marketplace, and we know, how that works. So it's extremely low cost to set up. You can create the tickets for free. Lazy loaded NFTs are awesome. A low cost to maintain and validate. You just basically check and see whether somebody has one, which is free to do, and then you can keep track if you'd like of how many times you checked, for example, That's no big deal, and also can be done free, and we can even just do that on the test net. You know, it's kind of low prio, works good. So it doesn't rely on a single sign-on. You can use account-based. You know, privacy exposure is moved to the user's choice. You know, they can use Railgun or Lit if they want, and then, you know, they may need to connect, you know, their driver's license in a moment, but that's state requirements. But this allows them to do it in a private way. And so I think, you know, this is a really fantastic solution. All right, so how does it work? The user purchases an NFT on OpenSea, you know, which is on the Polygon chain, so it's nice and cheap, and that belongs to, you know, the correct project. So it's pretty recommended that they go through the URL to, like, you know, identify and make sure that they're buying the NFTs that actually, you know, are recognized by that particular project, which can be denoted by a known URL. So then that user, you know, they can download the VIP card that's in the reveal unlockable content, and that makes it a little easier to do some things, you know, at an event, instead of having to constantly, you know, connect their MetaMask wallet and do that. They could just have a card that they hold in their pocket, you know, do things like check their alcohol in, or check their coat, or check their car in, or, you know, get into VIP rooms or all sorts of things, or get special access to stuff or discounts and la-di-da. All that could be done with just kind of a card in their hand. It's a little easier to manage, or, you know, they could just display it on their phone too, simply, if they don't want to hold a card. Plus it gives the opportunity for the venue to make a nice high quality gold card that they could hold in their hand. But anyways, so we'll show how that works. So the venue then uses a VIP card writer to scan either the user's card, their phone card, or you know, if they want them to do the full wallet connection validation, then they can do that. Simple. All generates a QR code, and then that QR code is just scanned by the VIP card reader that has a list of all of the valid you know, token IDs in it, and then it just says, yep, you own one of the ones that's a valid token ID, and bang, shows that to the venue, and then the venue goes, cool. The user can then scan, you know, they can utilize the MyColorado ID QR code if they'd like to, and then they connect that, and they pings that back, and, you know, validates their personage, and that they're over 21 or whatever, and then they can record that token using Tableland if they need to meet some regulatory requirements. So the venue, you know, basically gets verification of a valid ID and the NFT ownership, and then they let the person in, and then they can use that card inside. So pretty slick how it works. It's relatively easy. I think it's easy to implement. We got it down to it working. So let's check out our website. All right, so cool. So first off, you know, we chose to start out with basically sort of 3 levels. There's secretly a 4th level, but 3 levels. There's a purple, a gold, and a red. This could be anything, you know, different things. Each one can have a different price, different, you know, context, different things. Each one of these QR codes is just dynamically generated, and it takes you to Coinbase if you wanted to easily share it with your friend. Then you can just connect over to Coinbase, or to OpenSea, excuse me. And on OpenSea, you know, you go ahead and purchase one of these. They're not going to be available for purchase until Tuesday of next week at the party, when these actually get launched. But there is one that is on sale, the black ones right now. So if you wanted to buy one right now for 22222 DAI on Polygon, you could go ahead and do that. And then that would unlock the content, which is basically the VIP card that gets you in there. So let's see how that card would end up working. So this card could just be on your phone, but I actually printed them out, made some, you know, sort of fancy looking, you know, you could have these really nice, you know, high-end cards, and you could put art on them. You know, these are laminated, not crazy fancy, but you could have them printed out, made nice. All right, so how does this work? So basically the venue whips out their phone, and they connect, and they're going to recognize just 222.World tokens, and so we've loaded those up, you know, in as a recognized set, and basically they just need to scan the token here, and as soon as that happens and it focuses, which could be any time now. Oh yeah, that's awesome. It's not going to do it, of course. Like a demo. Come on. I always need to just be a little more patient. It's just my webcam's not focusing on the object that's so close. There we go. Ha ha! It wins. Of course, it happens like super fast normally. I bet if I do the switch to red, it'll probably do it quicker. But sometimes it's the way the QR code goes. But anyways, so yeah, let's try this one. Let's see if we can get it to switch. But anyways, moving on to the important bits. We now say that we've identified that there's a secret code in this one. There's the club. Here's the contract address, the token address. And then basically this allows you to do the Colorado ID verification. Now, so if you have a Colorado ID, what's really groovy is you go to your Colorado ID, you go to the user then says, okay, no problem, I'm going to whip out my Colorado driver's license here. They sign it with their thumb. They get the scan barcode dealy bobber. They scan the barcode. Boom! Allows them to then share their information. Let's see, I'm doing terrible for having you be able to see this, but yep. Then I'm gonna permit you to see my age. I hit share, and their little API pings me back with the message that I am a well, either way, it says 222.World verified member. So that passed through, and then basically I would be able to ping their endpoint, and it would say, yep, here's your name, Mitchell Valentine. Yeah, he is over 21, and the message that passed through. So now I've got the Colorado verification. So our next step, and we're actually working on this tonight, and it'll be done by 8 a.m. tomorrow, like I said, is we are integrating with Tableland, and so you'll be able to have a user count. Let's see, I think it's user counter, and that's not actually implemented over there yet. Of course, it's just in my local. But so, anyways, we're working on implementing the part where Tableland connects to your wallet and records, the outcome of how that went with the VIP card reader. So that's sort of the ins and outs of it. Pretty slick, pretty easy to use. We're in the MYCOLORADO track. We think this is a great way for Colorado organizations, especially the small clubs, small organizations that want to just, have a minimalized membership, limited membership, and sell those easily, and then be able to just validate their users, but also then keep track of their age, and then keep track of that in a decentralized way without having to have a bunch of back-end servers that actually expose everybody to security risks and a bunch of downstream problems. So we think this is pretty cool. We love ETHDenver. Vote for us, please. Give us a shout. Hope you had a great time, and that's it. I'm signing off again. Mitchell Valentine, 22222.World. Vote for us.